So, thank you for being here today. Would you want to tell me about your grandmother? What happened to her?
Well, she's 80 years old and she recently had a stroke. So she isn't in the best state right now.
She's in the best state. And are you the one taking care of her personally at the moment?
Yes,
And and you don't want to be doing that at the moment.
correct.
Okay. So, what are you considering doing right now?
I'm considering finding a suitable nursing home for her or having some type of nurse come to my house to kind of care for her.
So, if you didn't take your grandmother to a nursing home, what would you do?
Uh, I would have to work less hours and take care of her more and make a lot of sacrifices in my personal life to spend more time just caring for her.
So, would you say sacrificing your so you don't have the personal time to take care of a grandmother yourself?
Right.
So, considering a nursing home, what parts of a nursing home would you consider to be like what perk would you consider to be most important to you when you're finding a home to put your ailing grandmother?
I would say her kind of her well-being, like how happy she is when she's in there. That would be my first priority.
So you're thinking that her emotional well-being is as important, if not more important, than her physical well-being.
Right.
Why is that important to her?
I think because she's 80 years old and she wants to enjoy her life as much as be healthy enough to live it. Because since she is living, she might as well be happy.
So you want her to have the emotional fulfillment being in a nursing home. So you would want to have um, what sort of emotional activity, like emotional boosting activities, would you consider her?
I think being social with a lot of the other people in there. Like she'll be able to make friends and still, if I could find a nursing home that would allow them to still kind of go outside the home with maybe the nurses and still be able to see the outside world and interact with it.
So I was thinking, if you're considering having many um, opportunities to leave the nursing home facility itself, does that mean what? How important is the internal aesthetics of the building to you?
Mm-hmm. What do you mean by? You mean her, like how they care for her?
The facilities themselves. Would you? Um, how important and how important is the modernity of the building itself?
I think that's very important. I'd put that as number two for me, behind her happiness. I want her to be in a clean and safe place, that they have a lot of upkeep and constantly keep nice, so she won't get uh, sick from any bacterias or things like that.
So social well-being as well as the modern aspect of the home itself. What would you say is if you had to pick a third most important, what would you say, rounding it out 1, 2, 3, what's the third most important thing for you?
I would say the cost of it for her to be there. I would put that as number three.
So, considering cost, would you put a cost on your grandmother's care, or if you had access to the perfect facility, would cost be as big of an issue for you compared to the first two perks, or would you be willing to spend additional money to get more perks that you described earlier?
Right. I think finding the proper place that checks the boxes of the first two things of her happiness and the actual care she's getting within the building. I think finding that, and then I would assess the cheapest place that offers those two things. So I would say you can't really, the money wouldn't be that big of a thing. You just have to get the best treatment that fulfills those first two options, and then just pick the best economical choice from there.
As far as time frame, what have the doctors told you about the care of your grandmother and how long you think she'll be needing this care?
They told me that she'll be needing it for the rest of her days. She's not able to be on her own without a nurse.
So long-term facilities then.
Right.
Okay. So you're looking for long-term facility with a modern long-term facility with an excellent staff, but also low cost. So would you say that was accurate?
Yes.
Okay. What facility have you toured any facilities so far in your search to finding the perfect nursing home for your grandmother?
I toured one facility, and it really was quite dirty, and the staff wasn't that nice. So that really made me reevaluate what I was looking for and how much I was willing to spend on her. I liked that the place was close to where I live, but I don't feel that she would have been happy there.
So as far as location, you want to be able to be close to her then.
Yeah, I would like to be able to drive and see her whenever I have the chance to. So I would say if I could find something under an hour away, I would really like that. That would be ideal.
Why is that so important to you?
It's important just because I want to be able to see her, because I do realize that she doesn't have that much time left, and I want to be able to check in on her myself, see how she's doing, and know that she's still being cared for by her family as well as all the nurses there. And also me and her have a very close relationship.
So having this close relationship, would you say that you grew up with your grandmother?
Well, I was born kind of away from her, and then when I was 15, she moved closer to me. So then when that happened, me and her became very close. We would see each other almost every day. And then a couple years after that, she came in and started living with my family.
So I can tell that you really care and love your grandmother. So finding the best facility for her is of the utmost importance. So your grandmother needs care essentially 24/7. Like she's unable to. How able is she to live on her own right now?
I would say she's not very able to live on her own. She could still have another stroke, and one of the results from her last one was she has a really tough time eating and feeding herself. So someone has to always kind of be there to help her with that.
So in having someone always be there, what would be most preferred? Would it be like, for example, having caretakers, having doctors on staff, or
I would
something of the
say
sort?
I would say a caretaker would be more important than always having a doctor around. It would be nice to always have a doctor around to know that she'd be safe if something were to go wrong. But I think she needs a full-time caretaker more than full-time treatment from a doctor.
Why do you say that?
Just because it's really the small things that she has most difficulty with, like kind of eating and showering and changing herself. Those are all things that she really struggles with.
And in living with you for a while, would you say that she, or the hominess aspect of nursing homes? Is that something that is important to you? How homey a nursing home is, and how it doesn't feel a certain way?
Yeah, absolutely. I think she's a very creative person, so I think it's very important for her to have her own space that she could really make her own. Because I know she really likes to do that. And that will give her that kind of warm and comforting home feel that she would be able to make as her own. So I think that's pretty important.
Why do you think hominess is so important?
I think it's very important because that will add to her happiness and how comfortable she feels. Because I don't want her to be stressed every day and feel kind of comfortable. I don't want her to feel like she's at a hospital.
Do you feel why do you feel like you don't want it to be like a hospital?
Just because no one would want to be in a hospital for multiple years every day. Because thought about that's how I would feel, and so I went and spoke with her, and that's the feedback I got from her.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you speaking with me today, and I will take what I have learned and find you the perfect place for your grandmother. Thank you.
Thank you.